Let's now uncomment section 12 and see what we should do. Select the section and then Control /. Okay, so now you can see that it seems like we are going to define a new method here for accessor, because you can see that this appears on the right hand side of the assignment, which means we're going to use its return value. And again, we're calling the method on BB, so this means the new method should be in the class of BB's declared type, which is BirthdayBook. You can see BB was declared in this line here is BirthdayBook. Okay, so now we need a method called getBirthday is an accessor. It should return some type, and then the parameter type is simply a string like A, B, or C. So what's the return type? Somehow this line here gives you very, very clear hints, because you're trying to use this method called on the right hand side of an assignment, and the left hand side is a variable BD of A, which is going to capture the return value. And what's the type of BD of A? Birthday. Okay, that makes total sense, because we have a context object called BB. BB.getBirthday means we're going to get the birthday of A, for example, in this case, some name, and then to retrieve its birthday. And then it tells us that when the names are not existing, then we'll simply return nulls, which means they don't have any birthday associated with them. Okay. Of course, for initial empty book, all the names do not exist, which means for all the names, their associated birthday will simply just be null. That's why when you go to the expanded output for number 12, you will see birthday of A, B, and C are simply just nulls. They are easy. But when we define, we'll try to be as complete as possible the first time around, so we can save time for later. Okay. So now let's try to define. Again, you should really be very clear how we derive this. Okay, let me say that again. First of all, it should be a method in BirthdayBook class, because we are trying to call this method here on a context object called BB. And BB was declared on line 83 as BirthdayBook. Okay, first of all, the method should be in BirthdayBook class. And what should be the parameter type? There's only one single parameter that should be just a string type. And what should be the return type of this method? We can see that this method here is used on the right hand side of an assignment, which means the left hand side of the assignment, in this case BD of A, is going to store the value, the return value of this method here. And you can see that this value here is of type birthday. Okay, that's how we figure out everything just logically. Okay, so now let's define this getBirthday method, which means when the name exists, we're going to return its associated birthday. If the name does not exist, simply just null. Let's go to the BirthdayBook class and define this method here. Okay, you will see that, remember from the previous section there, we defined this private helper method here. You will see that it's very useful now. We only have to write just a few lines of code. We do not have to repeat the for loop anymore. If you didn't have this helper method, you may just have to iterate through the entire entries array up to including the NOE position. Okay, but you don't have to really repeat such loop explicitly every time. You can simply just use the helper method to really save some duplicates. Okay, let's see this. Public birthday and then get birthday, and then get birthday from some name. Okay, we know that if the name exists, we should return the corresponding birthday. Otherwise, no. Why don't we know that if the name exists in the entries, that means they should exist somewhere between index 0 and NOE -1, right? That's what we know, because NOE points to a null slot, which is the slot for the next entry to be added into the BirthdayBook. We should know this pattern very well. Okay, so now let's go to getBirthday here. Let's do something similar to name exists over here. We say int index over here. Let's make it explicit, the logic here. We can say if index is simply larger than or equal to 0, that means the name exists. So now we can return the corresponding entry .getBirthday. So now you can say entry E is entries at index. That will give us the entry, and then we can say birthday BD of name. Okay, the birthday of this particular name is e.getBirthday, and then you can simply return BD of name. Okay, that's the case where the name exists. Otherwise, we can simply return null. Okay, if you like, you can shorten this into a single line. Let me show you, which is the equivalent. I can simply say return entries at index.getBirthday. That will also work. Okay, it's completely up to you. Okay, let's see if the output we get is at least conforming to the expected output, which is just all nulls. Okay, let's execute that. So we do have that. Okay, so now the output is correct. Let's also convert this into JUnit, so to for later automation. Okay, let me copy these 3 over here. Actually, I should copy everything here. Okay, and then let's go back to the test. Okay, now it'll be test number 12. Test public void test 12. And then copy that. So make sure we have BB in this completely independent test. And now let's keep the comments there. And we want to make sure everything is null. There is also some assertion called assert null, which means whatever expression you put inside is just null. Okay, that's just some different alternative for you to use. Okay, BD of A is simply null. It's as if, let me just write something that's alternative for you. Assert true BD of B equals null. So these two are equivalents. You can use either one. Okay, let me just keep assert null here. Okay, so now let's execute the test case. Okay, so now so far we have got an accumulated 13 tests, and all of them pass.